YouTube, welcome back. It is I, your boy, your average Jason. It has been a long time, man. It's been a while since I done hold my head up high. Been a long time. I had to take a break. Couple things. Had a lot going on my plate, man. Work-wise, just life in general. And also, YouTube had their gators on my neck. I couldn't get no views on my videos. And I'm not doing this for views. But if I'm putting in all this work and time to bring you guys authentic, quality life experience from yours truly, at least I want to see that get pushed out there in the algorithm, man. But YouTube wasn't doing any of that. They were like, you know what, Ninja? We are going to silence you. You talking too much. You talking that spit and walking that spit. And we're going to shut you up. So that's what happened. So I took a step back. And I mean, I kind of had to anyways, because I tell you what, YouTube, your boy has been grinding, man. And I want to hear from you guys, man. I want to see how many people are out there working 2-3 jobs, 2 jobs and a side hustle. Maybe you have a business and a side hustle and a part-time job, you know, and I want to know, is that moving the needle for you guys? Is it moving the needle? Are you able to save money, invest, you know, take trips, you know, kind of live a decent lifestyle, you know, at least, you know, enough to, you know, live decently? Because I tell you what, man, I was working just with my main gig, right? I was working maybe 46, 48, 50 hours a week, right? Anywhere in between there. Just my main gig. And I was doing a little bit of side hustling on a weekend. I would sell scrap metal. For those of you who don't know, I had like a junk removal business. I'm not really in business anymore. I still have it, you know, just to have an LLC. But I'm not really running like I used to anymore for a variety of reasons. Main reason is money just dried up. People weren't paying for services like that anymore. Not like it was pre-pandemic, and during the pandemic, you know, people had money to spend, discretionary money, income, that pretty much has dried up. So that killed my business. Plus, Sleepy Joe and company came in and put some policies with the EPA, you know, dumping and all that, and it was just a nightmare. It just pretty much killed my business. So thank you, Democrats. Not going to get political. I'm just talking regular stuff here. But anyways, you know, I still do a little bit of scrap metal selling on the weekends. When I come across it, I do it, you know, and that could be like anywhere from an hour. It didn't take me very long. An hour, a couple hours, 3 hours. So, you know, in all, about 53 hours a week, right? And then with I got a second job, and I'm going to tell you what, guys, like I searched and I put in a lot of applications for the second job to find a second job. I put in application at Lowe's, put in application at Home Depot, put in applications everywhere, anywhere and everywhere you can think of. You know, my plan was I don't need a whole lot of hours. I just wanted to do something part-time. And not only did I want to do something part-time, I didn't really want to have to give up a whole lot of hours doing it. You know, I didn't really care about the pay as much because I don't have a lot of debt, guys. Like, I've climbed out of a hole throughout the years with consumerism debt. I don't have a lot of debt. I keep my overhead very low. I'm very frugal with how I live. So, and that's by design, because that tends to keep more money in my pocket as much as I can, especially in today's time with inflation and all that, right? But anyways, my second job now, you know, this was like $15 an hour, guys. So I was not, and I'm just being honest with you guys, man, because that's what I do. $15 an hour. I'm 42 years old, you know, and I'm working with people half my age here. And it was a grind for that little $15 an hour, man. It was a grind, man. It was not easy for that little $15 an hour. And that went from, so I went from 52, 53, 54 hours a week to now maybe 60 hours a week, a little over 60. And I sit here, man, and I had all this going on, main gig, part-time gig, side hustle, and none of that moved the needle for me. It didn't. It didn't give me, no, I didn't lose any money, but I didn't really gain any ground either, man. So I want to know from you guys, man, are you guys out there doing this? How many folks are out here doing this? You know, how many of you guys are working 60, 70 hours a week and it's not really moving the needle for you guys, you know? And it makes me think, it makes me wonder, is this by design? Are these things by design? Is this by design? Is it by design that we are being just out in this slavery, man? Because this is what it is. It really is a slavery. It's modern day slavery. And for me, you know, I can't do van life, man. I can't do the nomadic thing. Like, I'm a grown man, you know, I got kids. I need a place to stay. I need somewhere stable, not only for me, but for my kid, for my daughter. You know, I like having TV, and I like watching movies, and, you know, being at home and having a base and cutting grass and growing vegetables and, you know, washing my truck on the weekends. Like, and I don't have a car payment either. That's another thing. Like, my overhead is about as low as you can expect. And I can't save. I'm not saving very much money, if any at all. You know, I'm definitely not investing like I used to anymore, because I just don't have that money to invest anymore. All I'm doing is working to pay bills, man. And I'm not like living no kind of lavish style here. And if something happens, God forbid, you know, if I lose my main job, you know, or I get injured or something like that, I'm probably about a month or two away from disaster. That's where I'm at. And I'm just being honest, guys. You know, and I'm not one to just spend money frivolously, as I said. Like, I watch my money, I try to save, I try to invest as much as I can, but there's no room for any of that anymore. And this has to be by design. There's no other way around it. So I want to hear from you guys, man. Comment below. You know, let me know. Say, hey, Average Jason, I understand what you're saying here, man. Like, I'm doing all this and I'm just keeping my head above water. And that's where I'm at, guys. I'm just keeping my head above water. And then the main job that I got, they're starting to act up too, man. You know, without giving away what I do, you know, when I first started with this team, when I came into this unit was dead in the water, guys. Like, there was no production, nothing going on. They were around for 2 years and they didn't do a goddamn thing. A bunch of lazy MFers, overpaid, not doing shiznit, right? And I stepped on this team, and within 6 months, I not only got rid of the dead weight that was on this team, but I turned this team around. It was like a 360. I'm not even going to say 180. It was like a 360-degree turn. And this team now has set the standard for the state that I'm in. And would you believe my leadership is looking at me now and asking me, yeah, Ninja, that's cool you did all this, but what have you done for me lately? And these employers are acting up, man. They are acting up, guys. These employers, they don't give a you-know-what about you. They don't. They don't care how much you've done, how much hours you put in, what you've done. They don't care about any of that. You know, and I look at these things, man, and I'm old enough now to know, because I've been through a lot of this. I've been around the block a couple times now at 42 years old, you know. And I'm looking at the climate, man, and I'm like, I need to learn. I need to go get a skill, man. I need another skill that I can add to my repertoire, so I can go out there and possibly make money on my own, man, and be in demand, you know. Because the thing about it is, man, you're at the mercy at these employers, man. If you're a regular W-2 person, you're at the mercy at these employers, and they know it. You know, look at all the people getting laid off right now. People have been getting laid off steadily since last year. I know somebody who got laid off back in September, December, and they still haven't found a job. And they're applying. They probably have put out 300, 400, 500 applications, and I'm not making that money. I'm not making that number up. So these employers know they got you by the you-know-what, the cojones right now. So I'm looking at it, man, and I'm like, well, I can go back and get my CDL. You know, I can go through a free program, get my CDL, but then I'm listening to some of these content creators out here that are truck drivers, and they're they're going through it too, man. They're going through it too. You know, like they have no work. Some of these guys are sitting at home. You know, and I'm thinking, well, maybe I can go to community college and do a welding course, and that might not be a bad idea, to be honest with you. You know, that's one that's pretty high on my radar. But I'm like, I'm 42 years old, man. Iron worked my body, and I'm in pretty decent shape. I look better than a lot of these YNs out here. I can tell you that. At 42, you look at me, look at my skin, look at me. I'm built, man. I'm a brick house. I can run with the best of them at my age still, but I'm still 42. Iron work at 42 years old on up, I don't know. I keep myself in shape. I could probably do that till I'm about 50, maybe 51. You know, and yeah, I could start up my business again, but money ain't in it like it is anymore, man. Like that money for that type of field, junk removal, has dried up. It really has. Because not even the one company that's down in, you know, the other state, neighboring state, they're an established company. They're not even doing that great. You know, I'm thinking about going for my CPA, for being in accounting. I like numbers. You know, my dad was somewhat of an accountant, or no, he was an accountant, and I may do that. I may get my CPA. You know, with dad, you know, you're always in demand there. People are always looking for people to help them with their money, taxes, things like that. You know, I could probably start a business on my own there and be remote from my home, create that for myself, because I'm getting tired, guys. I'm getting tired of working for other people, man. I am. And I tell you what, when I was running my own business, right, and I started this business like late 2018, you know, it was during the Trump administration, late 2018, and I was making good money, man. I was. And you know, and it's just another form of slavery. But to be honest with you, there was a sense of freedom there that I had experienced having my own business. You know, I set my own hours. I took on jobs how much I wanted, when I wanted. I did things how I wanted to do it. I didn't have anybody telling me anything, you know, and that was great, man. That gave me a sense of pride that once you get a taste of that, you can't forget it. You know, you can't forget it, man. And I need that back. And I got to figure out how to do that, man. But I can't deal with these employers anymore, man. I don't want to be looking for a job, go working for people again, keep jumping from job to job, trying to get a bigger payday. I'm over all that BS, man. But it's what I got to do. I don't have no special talents. You know, I don't have any special talents. You know, and I gotta work for other people to make a living. But I know there's something out there that I can do that can provide a decent living for me and not be under the mercy of an employer, you know. But yeah, guys, that's what's been going on with me, man. I've just been working, and, you know, what happened is, man, is that now I found myself with less time for things that should be important, like spending time with my kid, you know, helping her with her homework, checking her grades, making sure she's doing well in school, connecting with her teachers. Didn't have time for any of that. And I'm not a very social person to begin with anyways. And one couple little friends that I have, you know, I just didn't have time to connect with those guys, man. You know, because I'm busy working. So I'm tired though, man. And I actually quit that second job not too long ago here. I was just like, I can't do this anymore. It's not doing anything for me. I'd rather just work my main job, get a few pieces of scrap metal on the weekend, go sell them at the scrap yard. You know, I'll be all right. But hey, comment below, man. Let me hear what you guys are doing. You know, props to all the folks out there that are working and just trying to make ends meet, man. I give it up to you guys. We all out here struggling in the Gideon, man. So, until the next one, your average Jason, I'm back, baby. Yeah.